guys, so I have some extra footage left from the keyboard video, so I'm going to use that footage to make a video about funny things that happened when I was a kid. Let's get into it. Okay, so I live in Malaysia, and one of the famous buildings in Malaysia is the Petronas Towers. So when I was about 3 or 4, my mom was driving by the Petronas Towers and asked me, "What's that?" And then I blankly stared at her and said, "Corn." For those who don't know what it looks like, here's a photo of it. These next two stories are set in France. I used to be crazy about baguettes, so I insisted we go to a bakery to buy a baguette before lunch. So I brought a half-eaten baguette into the restaurant and plonked it onto the pristine white starched tablecloth. All the staff were staring at and laughing at me. It was a mess, and I wasn't even embarrassed at the time. Also, now that's the world's best restaurant, so I basically brought a half-eaten baguette into the world's best restaurant. The next story is when I went to a hotel that used to be a monastery, and it had a lake in like the grounds, and my mom and I were walking around exploring it, right? And so the hotel had a lot of miniature ponies, so my mom made me take a picture of one and kept telling me to go close to the pony. Then the pony literally kicked sideways and I went flying onto the ground, getting a mouthful of grass and dirt. Now onto the stories set in Japan. So one time I got lost skiing with a group class in Hakuba. I don't know how I got lost. My class was nowhere to be seen, and we were like the closed off part of the mountain where you can only see trees. So I basically bawled my eyes out until my teacher found me. One night I was really thirsty, so I went to the fridge and grabbed a mineral water bottle out of it. I took 3 huge large gulps until I realized it was kind of bitter. Then I realized I just drank sake. Sake is basically a Japanese alcohol. And then I spat it out into the sink. If you're wondering how sake got into a mineral water bottle, ask my dad. I don't even know how he got it in there. Like, we didn't even have like a funnel or anything, so when I was in a shop in Singapore and was walking into a room, I saw a person in front of me exiting the room, but I thought they were going to step beside me, so I kept going. Then I smashed into them and fell to the ground. Turns out that person was me, and the room was a mirror. When I was in kindergarten, a teacher asked me to go into the sack to do the sack race. You know, the ones where you basically have to jump to the finish line in a sack before anyone else. Yeah, like the ones you do at like sports day or something, right? So instead of doing that, I walked in the sack whilst the other people jumped. It wasn't even that fast. Talk about I'm not like other girls. In nursery, I went to Universal Studios and went on my first ever baby roller coaster ride. So like the quite slow ones, and they're quite short. I was so traumatized that for the next 6 months, whenever our car goes up a flyover, the ones that go over like the road, I would scream and cry until one day we were sending my best friend home, and as we were going up the flyover, my mom was panicking because I was going to cry, because she thought I was going to cry, right? But then my friend went wee as we went through the flyover. So then I looked at him, right? And then I went wee too, just to impress him. I can safely say I no longer cry whenever I go over a flyover. Okay, so I used to wear the same oversized shoes for 5 years. I mean, like the same like model of the oversized shoes. Like I wouldn't change them. But of course I would change the size, but I wouldn't change the type of shoes. So, and when I was running at sports day, one of my shoes flew backwards, but I didn't even realize. So I kept running with only one shoe. So this is the end of the video. What do you guys think? What are one of your famous funny moments when you were a kid? Put it in the comment section. Okay, bye.